Hey y'all, it's Natalie for Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and I'm using the Delight Page Kit by Meredith Twilling this month to document this photo of me and my family at the beach. So I've picked out the Catitude paper, which is this lovely colorful striped paper, and then I used one of the white pieces of cardstock to do a 10 by 10 square in the middle, and I have that nice large 4x6 photo, and I'm going to use this stamp set by Not Just for Boys, and I'm going to focus on circles. So I'm going to die cut our family group out with that circle, and then I'm also going to match up another circle die to fit this circle stamp from the Breezy stamp set. I'm going through the Simple Stories Life Captured title bits to pick out a few words that will fit on a circle and kind of go with the photo. And then I'm going to pick out a couple of circular stickers from the Pink Fresh Studio Life Right Now cardstock stickers that come in the Delight Page Kit. And I knew that I wanted to use this 4x6 photo, but I also wanted to incorporate circles. And normally that would just mean that I would make my photo into a circle. But I decided that I could die cut out the circle and kind of pop it up on some foam, and that would be a fun element on the page. I'm going to use the Good Vibes acrylic piece that coordinates with this kit. It doesn't come in the paper or in the page kit this month, but it's a coordinating piece that you can buy, and there's still some available, and it's so good. It's my favorite acrylic ever, and I hope they make many more. So we're focused on stamps this month as our challenge in the Facebook group, because Not Just for Boys is going to start making stamps again. They had to put a hold on it during the pandemic, but this stamp is from one they previously made, and so we're super pumped that they're going to start making these stamps again, and they should be hitting the store soon. So we're trying to get you excited about them, because I know I'm excited. So I picked a few Distress Oxide inks that coordinated with the colors in the Delight Page Kit. So let's see, I had that first one was Festive Berries. This is Peeled Paint. I think I used Tattered Rose, which is a pink color. And then I used Speckled Egg, which is a blue color. Oh, and that's Fossilized Amber, the yellow one. So I'm using my Tim Holtz stamping platform because I do want the really good covered edge. And since it's kind of a bigger stamp, I feel like it needed two inkings to make a really good imprint. So I run them through my die cut machine, and you can see that they have a white border. And in a minute, I decide that I'm going to cut them down even more, but you'll see why. To make them fit on the page better is why. So I cut out two of the exact same size circle from my photo in that red foam. And so I chose that specifically because I do want the foam to show. So it's not really going to stick out, but if you view it from the side, you get a little hint of the red. And I really like the way that looks. So I'm looking through, and I decide that I want to cut down the circles because I don't want the white border, but I also want them to just fit a little more snugly around the circular elements that I picked out. So off screen in a minute, I will cut those stamped circles down just a little bit more. I am going to keep the red one large, and that's going to encompass the acrylic piece and be the title for the page. So my idea for the page was kind of like a map, where you have a map, or when you see people doing investigations and they put pictures up and then they have a tack and then they use twine to connect it to something, which I guess is a type of map. So that was my idea. And I've done this before on an actual map of my city. And so my idea here was to use this strings to indicate what each person in the photo is thinking. And I got the idea mostly because when I looked at the sticker sheet, it had that UGG trying not to freak out, and that was my kid right there. So we're all smiling and happy, but really my oldest was really kind of getting on all of our nerves because he was trying not to freak out because I wanted to take a good picture, but he was freaking out from the fish or whatever creatures he could see. I don't know. He gets weird sometimes. And sometimes he wants to hold them in his hands. So I don't understand the rhyme or reason of it. Anyway, so I grabbed these tiny little brads, and I decided to also pop up the circles. But I only did one layer of the foam for those, so they won't be popped up as high as the photo. So I tied that red twine around one end of the tiny brads, and then I'm going to attach it to the stamped circle. And then I put the foam on the back side of that. So it kind of helps with like the bulkiness of the brad. And then, I don't think I've done it yet. Yeah, I'll show you what I mean here. But, so I stick the brad. Oh, I did do it. I'm crazy. So I stuck the brad through, I stuck the foam on the back. And now I'm going to kind of place my photo so that I know how to draw each string, because I do want the string to kind of end up underneath the person in the photo to which it corresponds. So you'll see here in a second what I mean. And I want it to be pulled taut. So I'm going to kind of place the circles where I want. I did trim off that extra little tail that's sticking out on the other side of each brad. And I used just some tearaway tape. And I kind of bring the string up towards the person that it corresponds to. And I'm going to use wet glue to stick the foam down. And then I will use my tearaway tape to hold in place the string exactly where I want it. And then once I get them all down, then I will remove the backing on the tearaway tape. So you'll have that element of holding the strings down. Plus I'll add wet glue to the back of the photo and the foam on the photo. So then all of the strings will be pulled taut and then secured down under the photo. So then they kind of point to the person that each one corresponds to. So the little guy's thinking about ice cream on the boat, because of course, when you go on a cruise, you get the ice cream cones and you just can't not have an ice cream cone. If you pass the machine and it's open, you must stop for an ice cream cone. Them's the rules. I don't make them. So I inked up, because I did leave that white border around the red one, because it's going to be the anchor for the acrylic piece. So I'm going to let that overlap my photo a little bit, and I inked up the edges, and now I'm going to stick down the acrylic piece. I'm just using my stamping bug to hold down the photo. The foam takes a few minutes to dry with that adhesive on the back, or with the glue on the back. So that's why the stamping bug is there. And I'm going to do the same on top of that acrylic piece too, because I'm just using my Nuvo adhesive. You can find this Nuvo adhesive in the Not Just for Boys store. But as long as it dries, then it holds really well. But you just got to make sure it dries well. So the last thing was, it was a little stark for me. Of course, I love distressing, but I didn't distress the edges, but I did decide to use a red pen and just draw around the edges. And sometimes I do this with like a messy line, but I kind of wanted to stick with a not so messy look. So I used my ruler and I drew straight lines, but then I decided to just make it a little bit messy. So I added little squiggles. It kind of looks like stitching, but without the stitching. So I hope you guys are inspired. I had so much fun with this, and I still have so much of this page kit left. It is beautiful and it's huge, and you can get a lot out of it. So I had a lot of fun with this page. Let me know if you have any questions, and check me out on the blog. I'll link down below, and I also will put a link to where you can go purchase the kit in the store. You can also go to our Facebook group and participate in our stamping challenge, and we'll have so much fun. Thank you guys for watching. Bye, y'all.